Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Where's my stuff? Here it is. Hi. Pull up a chair and join us in the alcove here with episode 56 of our homebrewed 5th edition D&D campaign, The Chaoslands. As always, before we start, we have a handful of quick announcements, so let's get through those. We go live on Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time-ish on YouTube with vlogs available immediately after the stream ends. You can subscribe to the channel down below to get a notification whenever we're about to go live. While you're following us on our streaming platform, you'll also find links to all of our social media accounts, our Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Go ahead and follow those for all the latest news and schedule updates, as well as awesome character art, profiles, and other fun things. Fun things to be determined. We use a variety of background music to improve the ambiance of our game and stream, and you may recognize some of it from Critical Role's Welcome to Taldore, Welcome to Wildmount, and Candela Obscura collection albums, as well as some royalty-free music courtesy of Riot Games. Links to those can be found below. Since this is our last episode before the holiday season...
No.
Is it? Yeah.
It is. I mean, is it next Monday, Christmas?
Yeah. I just want it.
Just wanted to wish everyone a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas.
Safe holidays.
Yep.
It's crazy times.
Have a great Doctor Who day.
No. Stop.
Doctor Who. The new episode comes out on Christmas Day.
We're not sponsored.
And we have these crackers to celebrate our Christmas.
Yeah. All right.
How does this work?
Crackers. Ready?
Wait.
Oh,
How does this work?
Wait a minute.
You're gonna pull two.
You're not supposed to count.
Wait, I'm pulling two?
Wait, you guys are missing
No,
one.
we're missing one.
There's one more here.
I have one. I gave mine.
Listen,
Yeah.
here. You got another one.
No,
Yeah, there's an extra one. There's an extra one. There's 8.
Wait.
There's 8 in total.
Oh.
There's 8 in total.
Everybody got their little
Okay.
things. Ready?
Wait, you gotta get the top.
Hold the
Gotta
cardboard.
make sure
The little strip
tab.
right there.
what tab? What
There's a little like cardboard
strip.
Wait, there's a tab?
This one I got it on my
Where's the
side. I got it
tab?
on my side.
Where's the tab?
Look inside of this.
No,
There's
it's
a
only
tab.
on one side on these ones. It's fine. I
Okay.
got them both.
No,
in
it's because I think.
Ready?
I think.
3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Okay, well,
Mine's popped.
Did ours pop?
there you go.
That one.
Merry Christmas.
I think that one is yours then.
Do we get the little hats? Because we'll definitely wear them.
What if there's a green one?
Derek got the green one.
Oh, something fell in.
Derek, can you press down on that twice? It's gonna get in here.
Oh, there's like little sticker
Are
things.
you gonna have like a?
There's little stickers. Oh, I'm gonna put them in my
You're
notebook
gonna
for
have like
today.
a broken head.
I got the color
I
I
hope
wanted.
so.
Oh, there's also a little joke.
Twinsies.
Yeah.
Why can't you tell jokes to an egg?
Oh, sweet.
They
Half
always
part of my
crack
head-
Because they know the
cracking
yolk.
up.
They already know the
Blending
yolk.
into the.
Yeah.
They'll start cracking
Something
up.
about the yolk.
Because it'll crack up.
Yeah. What do you get from a pampered cow?
Moo.
Something to do with milk.
Spoiled milk.
I was saying,
Dude,
it's just
Where is the ocean the deepest?
In the deep part.
The bottom.
that's
That's a lot of jokes.
That's a dollar store joke right there.
What did one magnet say to the other?
I'm attracted to you.
I'm attracted
God
to you.
damn it.
Oh, because of these things.
I got the same with the egg.
Oh, do you have the same color hat then? Oh, you do. It's these things. The jokes match the hat.
Derek's hair is missing. You gotta keep it on.
Yeah.
Is that all that was in there?
Yeah.
I've never been to the what is it? The medieval.
There's no toys in this
Medieval
one.
times.
Times.
but
There's no
this
toys.
is
There are stickers.
everything
Yeah, the
I
stickers. You got the stickers. We're
Throw
good.
garbage that away.
A white one. I
Oh, you got
know those
stickers on it.
existed. Oh, we all got stickers.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he got him on his.
Oh, smart.
Alright, anyway, back to the
It's like
regular
his
scheduled program.
Yeah, they're snowflake rooms.
Derek,
Nice.
you look
Oh, shit, that's what I should have done.
You're just jealous.
Anyways.
I can't see Derek anymore.
True. Well, now that we've done celebrating Christmas, that's it. Christmas is over. Let's begin tonight's episode of The Chaoslands.
I love stickers.
How about
Yeah,
portals?
that's
I
not
love
the right
portals.
song. Wow, everything is just not working right now. I'll get back to you in like 2 seconds.
That's a lot of
Who are you
stuff.
talking to?
What's happening
You.
over there?
She
Me?
up the sound right.
You
There we go.
I got a gold one, guys. I'm the real king.
Jealous.
Color of your crown does not matter in this age.
I look like I haven't died for a
The Iron Will.
It looks kind of better with the heads up.
We've already gone off the rails.
The Iron Will. Having arrived in the distant and unfamiliar Frostfang Woods, and having restored their ally, the Big One, from the dead, had begun a long and treacherous journey toward the Rexate of Siltia, in search of answers about the red lightning rifts that plagued the continent of Rivenac. Traveling through the woods, you encountered the carrion remains of an elk that had seemingly fallen prey to a hunter of some sorts, as well as an emaciated-looking polar bear, and a large gorilla-like creature that had small, pinprick-like stars, or scars, upon its neck.
Stars.
Marks that you recognize as being the result of the bite of a vampire. Fending off this gorilla creature, you found yourself surrounded by a pack of howling wolves, and shepherded by the beast to a large rocky lair of sorts, a den in a clearing where the beast finally revealed themselves. And you discovered that they weren't simple wolves of the forest, instead being undead creatures, their movement and ferocity fueled by some strange necromantic magic. Fending off the wolves, you continued onwards, trying your best to maintain a general southern direction, but having to slow down often to climb a tree and reorient yourself, or to make sure that your direction was indeed correct. After a brief aside, discovering a strange scorched tree etched with the holy symbol of Agonaz the Destroyer, you found yourself on the banks of a rather deep river,
Haagen-Dazs.
and got to work chopping down a tree to form a bit of a makeshift log bridge to cross it. As evening fell, you all huddled around a warm campfire, protecting yourself from the harsh cold of the region, only for a strange armor-clad figure to approach your campsite. The figure, a frail-looking young woman in an ill-fitted suit of rather heavy, fur-laden armor, introduced herself as Shaeira, and informed you that the woods would not be safe for you tomorrow night, as it will be a full moon, and the lycanthropes that also make these woods their home would be in a rabid frenzy, particularly mentioning that Kalthir, being a worshipper of Linwari, would be at rather greater danger than the rest of you. Instead, she invited you to her home, only about a half day of travel away from where your campsite was. She promised that no harm would come to you, and that you could take shelter and spend the night in safety at her manor. After some more further questioning, she confirmed your suspicion that she was indeed a vampire, rather frankly and plainly. No sense of hiding or subterfuge about. But she insisted that she lived a fairly peaceful life in the woods, feeding only on the blood of animals. She requested you to visit her home and ask for Gregor, her friend and assistant, who would grant you access and shelter. And she was incredibly excited to have met some new and exciting friends. As strangely as she had appeared, she went back into the woods, casting a spell of sorts to fly into the saddle of a heavily armored warhorse and trot off, leaving you all in a bit of a state of confusion and with many questions of what the next evening will entail. That's where we pick up tonight's session, around the campfire, right before your long rest. So, what are you all up to?
I feel like Diamond would be first to take watch because he could not sleep well. He was terrified and having a bad time in this place.
Huh? Anyone
I
else?
think I had said that I can watch with you and that I can stay up for quite a while so that when you have to go to bed, like everybody can get their rest and then I'll wake the others up when I need to rest myself.
Call to you. So she said that she eats animals, right?
So she claims.
What if she turned us into animals?
Interesting thought.
And then she feeds on us.
That's a loophole.
Yeah.
I already am an animal.
A lot of thoughts running.
She's just not lying one way or the other.
I mean, in some sense, we are all animals. I think
Even you?
I would say so.
Special.
Alright.
Yeah. I think it sounds like she's trying to let us know that she would bring no harm to those of friendly nature, but again, we only have to go off of her word right now. Through the conversation that she was having while here, Pay no attention to my missing head.
You're Cal Theory. You're playing as Cal Theory right now. Look at this.
I was trying to do my best to read her in a way. Unfortunately,
I forget how to read.
I felt like I got mostly honesty from her. She didn't try to hide the fact of her nature.
I mean, you even rolled really well on the snow.
It's true.
I don't know. Something doesn't feel right, but sounds like staying out in the wilderness will be worse tomorrow.
I think either way, there's potential for danger ahead of us, whatever route we take. We're literally not out of the woods yet. So I think we just need to make sure that we approach with caution wherever we decide to go. I think we've done a pretty good job of protecting ourselves to some degree. I mean, unfortunate what happened to Big One. We did bring a Big One back.
I mean, Spark Eyes, like that version of Spark Eye sounds like a dick.
He sounds very different than the one we know, yes.
Oh, I know, so nice.
He is.
Likes the lad, encourages him.
Yes.
Those new versions, like, repressive father. Almost felt like I'm back in Cornwall and all the clans and... Yeah.
Well, I'd be very interested to one day see our Big One now meet this Spark Eye. If they'd be willing to do that, we'd have to make sure that we don't put them in too awkward of a situation.
Aye. Do you have a drink? I need a drink.
I have very generic water.
Generic water.
Because it's not Ward 8 water.
Yeah.
He's not
Do
sponsored.
you have any power to turn that into a spirit of some kind?
No. I still have the water left that I created, but it's very bland.
We got
More
to work.
bland than it's not very refreshing.
You got to work on your skills.
It's not spring water. Do you want some?
No, I will suck a little bit more on this.
How about some
Molotov
very
cocktail
bland
strip.
potatoes?
Which one of you two had this little stone arrowhead that she gave? To find her manor. Okay.
Pretty sure she gave it to me.
It was probably you. You were talking with her more until she asked me things.
You guys are keeping your watch. Both of you make a perception check, right?
Let's start with this one, even though this was the
Not
last
bad.
one last time.
Good start.
24.
That's a 6. Good. 13.
Far off in the distance, you do pick up some howls on the wind, but very faint. Quite distant from you. Loud enough that they get over the ever-persistent sort of, wind sweeping through the trees. And
I look through the scope. Do I see anything?
not really. Not much aside from your own breath and the mist forming from it. It's quite chilly tonight. No, you don't notice anything disturbing you. You keep the fire going, and a few hours of your watch pass. Would you like to wake up someone else or continue on?
I think if you'd like to go to sleep, I'll let the others finish their rest and then wake them up so that I may finish my rest before we head out.
Alright, will you be okay?
I mean, you're all right here. I'm not going to go wandering off.
Alright. I take my trousers off.
All right.
It's quite cold. Quite cold.
He sleeps hot, man.
Hot sleeper.
Quite cold.
It's okay, it's just a butt cheeks.
Sure. Okay. Who are you waking up? Or just you?
I'm not
you're
waking up.
keeping? Okay. The night thankfully doesn't get any colder, but if you can make a perception check whenever you would like.
That's better. 22.
It's more like talking.
I'm more alert.
I don't think you don't notice anything further. Anything aside from the occasional howling of wolves. You think off in the distance at some point you hear something rhythmic. It almost sounds like somebody chopping wood. It's strange because of how late at night it is. It's obviously past midnight at this point. But
Yeah.
that's the only thing that you really pick up.
Right. Pretty comfortable at night anyways, so hearing sounds of if it's somebody doing something isn't too off-putting.
Mm-hmm.
Do the wolves sound like they're... Can I pick up a direction, or it's kind of too far off that it's hard to...
They're too far off, really.
Yeah.
You'd think at one point you pick them up in like a specific direction, and then the like 20 minutes later they're in the opposite direction.
Okay.
Like they're kind of all over and ever present, but they're keeping their distance.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, your watch passes relatively
Yeah.
uneventfully.
Not too much else, just writing down, starting a whole new page on Shay. Just writing down, like, interesting, there's a vampire in the woods.
Who are you waking up towards the end of your watch?
I'll wake up these three. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Is your morning?
Be early morning, but it's still morning.
Probably around like 3:30ish a.m.
Did you give me the book that Spark Eye gave you, or did you just show me it?
I just showed you.
Mr. Calthier, if you're taking a rest, do you mind if I borrow the book that you showed me that Spark Eye gave you?
Sure. Go through my bag and pull it out.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
super
Yeah.
thick book.
It's like tiny in my hand.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna spend most of my watch reading that because my Spark Eye never let me read his book.
And that's true.
So you dead? Yeah. Fuck you dead.
Make what is there? Are you looking for any particular meaning in the book,
What
or are you
did
just
you say
trying
it
to
was
read it
exactly
and like
again?
understand it?
It's called Creating Life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it spans a lot of different
Yes.
things.
Yeah. It's like a fairly thick and fairly dense book. Like you probably wouldn't be able to
Yeah,
finish
I think-
reading all of it.
I think to start, I just want to know if there's like a table of contents. If not, then like I just want to know what sections the book's in there. That's what I do for the first night. Like, kind of get an idea of what teachings or learnings are in there, and then maybe hone on that the next rest.
The book is very rambly and it kind of goes in a lot of different directions. Mostly it's kind of like loose shorthand notes from a writer. I don't even remember what the name of the author was.
Yeah, you guys are in.
yeah.
But we can find that later. Is there any scribblings in it from either Spark Eye or from somebody else? Like hand
There's no
drawn?
scribblings, no.
Okay.
And honestly, it seems like Spark Eye didn't really read it that much.
Okay.
The first few pages, the maybe like first 2 or 3 sections are like the paper looks worn.
Okay.
After that, it doesn't seem to be very worn at all. Aside from Calthier, it doesn't seem like nobody else has really read.
Then I'd probably
cover
go
to
to
cover.
the later parts, the less traction parts.
The book generally seems to be about the concept of potentially creating either constructs or like some sort of means of mimicking sentience and like creating something that more closely resembles like a mortal creature with intelligence and not just a simple-minded, like rather a dog or a companion or something like that, but something that can speak and like kind of the early parts of it are really breaking down like the criteria for what he deems would be his successful goal.
Okay.
But then it kind of becomes very rambly. It goes down like several different avenues of like potentially things that you could try, things that you couldn't try. Really hard to follow, very dense. At one point it just becomes kind of like jargon and scribblings and like it's not a straightforward read.
Okay.
Why are you smirking?
Oh no, just because like Healthy had to read it over multiple times to get any idea what the fuck I was talking about. And you probably understand parts of it a lot better than Healthy does.
There's the parts that are talking specifically around like mechanics and like that sort of stuff that you have some sort of like rudimentary understanding
Basically,
of.
any book that relates to the Artificers or from Spark Eye, I'm trying to get ideas for my Battle Fist.
Yeah.
So that's what he's interested in. Improvements on his own creation. So if it's mostly contracts at the beginning, he'd probably skim through that unless he like.
I think the majority of this is almost entirely about constructs.
That's fine. He's still interested in reading it.
If you just make an investigation check for me.
Me a construct power fist.
Does it have to do with smell?
Oh.
Damn it.
Turn his fist into a
16.
dog.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, I don't think there's much in here that would be useful to you right now. Like, there might be some further stuff that you can dig into.
Okay.
But
He's just
you
excited
don't
to
pick up
read it
anything
anyway.
that immediately,
Sure.
like, that pops into something that could help with your battlefield.
Yeah, he's just gonna read parts of it, excited to actually get his hands on a book that his father would have had.
There's just notes in the book that are like, my son is so useless.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
It's like, oh my god, this Spark Eye's the same.
I don't think he called me his son.
Spark Eye's memoirs.
What? You like
Wait, which
your
one?
Spark Eye? Or like our
My
Spark
current Spark Eye, I don't think would have referred to the big one as his
Oh,
son.
yeah.
But our
Mistake.
Spark Eye.
He was known as the big one. He was more of
The big mistake.
problem than his child. Huh? The
What?
big mistake, yeah.
Dick.
That's a problem.
I hate him.
You don't
Question:
know.
Is do we have your dome over us now, or is that we didn't cast for this one? We're just chilling outside.
We chilling.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Ding, 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 ding. Cool. So yeah, I'll just spend some time reading and excited to get my hands on some reading.
Yeah. Arkmir and Ashra, is there anything specific you're looking to do?
I am still getting familiar with my hurdy-gurdy, not
Your
Tonk
Tonk.
I think you should
Where
name
is
it
it
Tonk.
But yeah, just like kind of playing it gently. I think. I mean, maybe those who are awake might see, but like quietly. Is kind of off to the side. Just something that's like
Master of Puppets.
like little
Yeah.
sticks and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
that are being like almost look like they're kind of levitating, but coming towards me. But it's not purely that they're floating. You'll see like there's some kind of set of footprints being left behind as these are being brought over. Sticks kind of get dropped and then like picked up again, but still make their way over to me.
Oh. Ashra.
I'm going to take some. So, because Big One made us a stew, like that night. So I'm gonna take some of the garlic that was in the stew and rub it all over myself, with special attention around like the jugular and like my wrists and anywhere that's highly vascular. And then question: in my like books and like reading about vampires back in the tower, what would I know about them? Like, how do you kill them? Like, what are they? What do I know with regards to vampires in this world?
Make either an Arcana check or a History check. It's up to you.
Ooh, garlic, so sweet.
Okay, both are +5.
You have to kill him with kindness.
All you'll
I
show.
rolled a 2 for 7. Freaking damn it! Go
You're
on.
fairly certain that they can go out at all times of day, and they glow and sparkle in the daytime.
They do sparkle.
They have golden eyes when you meet them in the daytime.
God
And
damn.
they're great lovers.
Oh.
That's what you
Hell
picked
yeah.
up in the book that you were reading.
Okay. Golden eyes. I thought the golden eyes didn't that actually have to do with like their feeding status?
I have no idea.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't read the books either. I don't know. Okay, so golden eyes, sparkly. Okay, so nothing abuse. Good.
I think in your readings you will come across various different books that describe vampires very differently, and
Yeah.
kind of putting all of that stuff together would be the part that's challenging.
Okay.
You could span the gamut from like they're beautiful, radiant angels that have fallen from the sky to they're like hideous creatures that live underground and feast on rats, right? Like, it's really hard to put together what's fact and what's fiction with like that number.
Would
Like,
I
with
have
that
come
number.
across like maybe like wooden stakes, maybe?
I mean, you would have come across a lot of different things. You would have come across wooden stakes. You would have come across like running water. You would have come across like your own blood mixed with onion juice, like a million different things.
I am gonna focus on rubbing that garlic all over myself and maybe eating at some of the garlic too.
Okay.
Yep.
Apples.
Yep. My best's gonna be great.
Um,
7.
I would like each of you
6.
to roll a perception check.
All of us?
Yellow.
Well, whoever's keeping watch. It doesn't
yeah.
seem like.
Alyssa's
I don't
playing
think
with
you're
kitty catchers.
you're probably more focused on reading the book more than anything.
Well, it's good because I rolled a natural 1.
Okay,
What
good.
am I doing?
Well, whoever's keeping watch,
Oh, all right,
keep
I'm
watch.
Perception?
8.
Question: in case anything jumps out of us, the people that he woke up, would we have completed our long rest?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no. All long rests finish at the
At the
same
same
time.
time. Okay.
This is just this watch.
Okay. We're dead.
11.
Okay.
What did you roll?
8.
God damn it.
Natural 1 because I'm reading a book.
That's actually
The
pretty good.
garlic.
I'm playing my hurdy-gurdy.
Throughout the course of this early morning, it begins to snow.
Begins to snow.
Yes. It begins to snow fairly heavily.
We don't notice.
No idea.
There's like snow falling in the book. I'm just like,
The wind begins to pick up. Your fire begins to get dimmer and dimmer. And as it comes time for you to wake up your companions, it's very heavy.
nice.
I'm just sitting there like.
Timon's
this, but
butt
I'm just,
cheeks
like,
are
covered in
thoroughly
snow.
covered with
Like
about
7
3
inches
inches of snow.
outside.
Yeah.
There's a
78
giant
bars in
mound. Yeah. You wake up cold.
Does he have frostbite on his butt cheeks?
Are they black?
I'm just
Frostbite
asking.
on butt cheeks.
Do I feel cold?
No, you feel fine.
I'm just concerned.
But the rest of you all feel very cold, especially
Good
when
thing
you wake up.
Elmer gave us first. Put him on.
You wake up, Diamond, Calcure, you come out of your trance, and it doesn't feel like it's even morning with how much it's snowing and how dark everything around you is. It's cold. You're covered with at least like an inch or so of snow. It is coming down hard. What are you doing? You have completed your long rest.
Yes.
I go warm my butt cheeks up.
Yeah, I will put the cloak over myself and then also pull out one of the furs that Elmer gave us. And put
Do you have
that
your full
on.
HP back already? Forget that.
You should.
She would, yeah.
Your max
Oh,
HP
yeah,
should
yeah,
go
yeah.
to normal.
I'm used to that weirdness.
Yeah, I'm at 65.
You had casted aid at one point
Yep.
yesterday. That would go away as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
Yeah, it's 65.
I thought that was pretty good.
What?
He's roasting me. I was all proud of being at 65 HP, and he's like, I'm only at 65.
I'm at 66.
I don't know. I thought that you were even higher than that. 'cause
No.
I'm at 55.
65 is actually really high for you.
She
Yeah.
she
Because
was she was higher.
But full HP? Oh.
She was higher than everyone else early on, but I think your last couple of rolls have been pretty low.
They've been
Yeah,
pretty
your
patient.
early rolls must have been good because like I'm 66 and I've rolled pretty good.
My first
Yeah.
rolls were really good.
Yeah.
And then I temporarily went down to like
Yeah, you
30.
have how much now? 84. Makes sense.
Because I had 2 good rolls. In the
Yeah,
last
you had
one.
like
I have
back-to-back
19
good
costs.
ones.
Yeah.
I'm an elephant, but I'm also an artificer. So the die rolls aren't huge.
You're only at.
The fighters helped early.
Yeah.
That helped early.
That's it.
With the snow falling heavily around you, we break camp and
We should probably get a move on before the storm gets worse.
To the Cullens?
How was the rest of the morning? Anything other than the snow starting? Anything?
Didn't really notice much. Here's your book back.
Yes. Thank you.
I just rubbed some vegetables all over my body.
I can smell that. That's an interesting choice.
So I guess the first order of action, are we in agreement we're going to make way for Calidune Manor?
Well, I think we're heading south regardless. I don't know how people feel about it.
Well, she also
It
said
is-
you might be in danger, so maybe your opinion matters.
I mean, I honestly, if there are lycanthrope here, then any of us are in danger on a full
Why
moon.
you? Do I notice any marks in his
Uh,
neck for the second day?
It's because I worship Linvari.
Why do you worship her? Because you're a vampire?
you can check.
I mean, don't werewolves like the moon? What the fuck's up
Typically,
with that?
not all. Actually, probably a lot don't. They consider it a curse.
When did you become such an expert?
I mean, I think just studying history of various creatures. I
Me
know
too.
a little bit about vampires as well.
Me too. Werewolves can actually imprint on people. Sometimes it's babies.
That's weird.
I know.
Are you implying that I am a werewolf?
Is there such thing as
Oh, I thought
is there such thing as were-elephants?
That would be
Maybe.
That'd be real cool.
I mean, I really like you as a friend. I feel like I've known you for like 2 years and I know nothing about you.
That's fair.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know how deeply any of us really know each other.
Just nervous chuckles around.
Does anybody have any open wounds before we go into this Cullen Manor?
No, I think we did a good job healing it up.
Okay.
Astra, I have an extra coat of chainmail if you want to.
You have an extra coat of chainmail this whole time.
I call it dibs.
I've been looking for armor, man. God damn you, son of a bitch.
So Astra,
I'll take it.
can you wear it?
I don't think so.
Why
I don't think you'd
not?
have proficiency in that armor.
No, it should be.
Oh.
Oh, right there.
Light armor.
You tried
Is
to put it
chainmail
on.
considered heavy armor?
You just
fall
fall
down.
Okay. I'll put it on and then just
Not too
crumple
bad. No
it.
one else could use it.
Might as well just throw it
Just
out.
chuck it into the river.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks
Put it
anyways.
back on my bag. I've been carrying this for
Son of a
for
bitch.
months.
Well, maybe somebody else can use it. Arkmir?
No, nobody
Do you-
else can.
No? Cal?
Sorry?
Do you need some armor?
No, but I think
Well, that accounts for everybody. We should probably most
All right.
I really
I think
want some armor.
old big one could have used it, but
I mean,
big one
I
can
can,
too.
but I,
The big one, what big one did?
I could use it. I don't want to. I know we just kind of re-met, but if you don't need it, I could use it.
I don't know.
Just a thought.
I don't know if I trust him yet.
That's fine. You can decide later.
Um, okay. So before we set off, can I try to make some sort of adjustment to the armor to fit him?
Just cut some dank like arm sleeves in it.
I think you could make. It will probably take you an hour at least,
Do it next
especially
camp,
with like
maybe.
the snow. You could probably make adjustments to make it fit reasonably.
Can I just go in my trunk?
No, like it would probably cover. From like a perspective of defensiveness, it probably could, but it would look really awkward.
To be fair,
Fair.
my current armor doesn't cover my arms either. It's mostly like a tank.
That's true. Yeah. I think you can make enough adjustments to make it work, but it would need at least an hour of work.
We don't
And
have to
it
do
is
now.
snowing
Yeah,
right now.
We can do it
so.
next camp, maybe. If you want, and no pressure.
I think I don't know, man. I'm scared before tonight, so I would be alright spending a bit of time if you guys are okay with that.
Sure. It'll certainly help.
And in the meantime,
She did mention that it's only about half a day from here to the manor, so
All right, wood to the fire.
Yeah.
she just recommended to get there before sundown, before
Yeah.
it got dark.
While he's working on that, does anybody need to prepare anything? Any spells? Any food? Any defensives? We don't really know what we're walking into here.
Lad, I
but
might need your help.
That's
Here.
fine. I was just saying it for these folks.
Do you guys want some garlic?
That sounds like a myth as I walk away.
I'll grab
You're just
a
gonna eat it.
bulb.
There was something I was going to
Is
do.
it just
but
regular Jaina?
I'm going to
Yes.
say I didn't have the
Oh.
ingredients for it. I already used up the ingredients I had, and we haven't been to a shop, so I definitely don't have
Because I've got
to do
this.
divination. It
Oh,
requires
okay.
Like
Yeah.
a number of
like,
episodes back,
stuff,
so I've been
and
carrying.
I'm going to say I don't have it. That would be
Perfect.
If I had enough.
Beautiful.
You are going somewhere where you can ask them
That
for
is
those.
true.
For a price.
You spend about half an hour to an hour working on this armor, to extending some of the straps to make it possible for it to fit the big one. Maybe refashioning one of the the shoulders and the arm into potentially just like extending the
Yeah,
body
you
a
definitely
little
wouldn't
bit.
need this part on the
I
right
can
arm.
assist you if you'd like.
He is. Oh, I don't know that.
I need some help.
Sure.
I was gonna say you're really good.
I can help.
But you didn't do that in this
Oh,
game.
thank you.
Just imagining what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's just
I
like,
made this.
It's gonna be a tank
so-
top probably.
yeah.
Which is sick. That's exactly what he wants. His arms free.
You just tell me what to do.
separated.
All right. So you hold this tight while I yank this part and then.
You know, like when you wait till like a
I do my
gatherer
best.
to
Oh, I
escape.
can-
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this
So
secret-
let me walk it
Like
over to
top,
fire.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you can wear something
I
underneath
think
that.
with your proficiency in Smith's tool and stuff,
also
it's
proficient.
fairly
That's
straightforward. But
Are
it
you
does
only
take
gonna
you
wear
a little
that?
while, especially having to
Huh?
make sure that
Are you
the
only gonna
snow
wear
is
the chain
getting in
down?
your
Nothing
eyes.
Like
You
a-
have to keep
Ah.
wiping your face and your shoulders and everything off. But you're able to get it done in probably an hour.
You say it takes an hour?
Hour and
Um,
a half. Yeah.
Miss Astra, I noticed you like to use a little stick to cast your magic.
My wand, Cynthia.
Yeah, yes. I could possibly give you a little bit of a boost that'll help you with, some accuracy and maybe some damage. If you wouldn't, you don't have to. I can borrow
No,
it for
it's
a second.
okay. It's just the other big one did that for me too.
Oh, then it's perfect.
Yeah.
So I don't have to.
No,
Kelsey,
it's
I
okay.
can-
No,
oh,
it's, no, I want it. I just,
Okay.
I didn't know that you could do that too.
I can.
I think sometimes you're more like our original big one than
Oh, well, that's
we think.
very sweet. He sounded very cool. I've literal big shoes to fill. Also, because I reached a new level of artificing, your hammer. Do you mind if I borrow that for a minute?
Sure.
So I will use this hour to give you arcane focus, +1 bonus to sales attack rolls. In addition, you ignore half cover when making spell attacks. So it's just the attack roll. You don't actually get the +1 to damage, but it's +1 on all your rolls, 20 rolls. And your enhanced weapon gets +1 bonus to both attack and damage. So you have enhanced weapon
And sorry,
Is that
ignore
permanent?
partial coverage or what
Is
was
that
it?
permanent?
until I decide.
You'll have to keep note of that somewhere.
I
so you
can
know.
I can constantly switch my infusion, so I'm infusing both of yours for this rest.
So is it +1?
+1 to attack rolls
+1 to
and damage rolls. Yours is just +1 to spell attack rolls. But you
said
ignore
something.
half cover. So
Half
if anybody's
cover,
in
okay.
cover, you ignore it. You just would roll without them getting advantage.
Sweet.
Auto aim.
So
Nice.
those are the two that I've picked for today.
Thank you.
I also have enhanced defense, but I can't do another one just yet.
Case in point, the one rather important thing that does to Timon's hammer, your hammer does count as a magic weapon.
Yeah. Yes.
That's very nice.
Yeah. So it would ignore like the blood
Save.
stuff. I've been holding on to that for a long time. I got that just before the other big one died.
Norse.
Yeah.
All right. So big one.
Oh, yes.
Since this is now pretty much tailor made to you,
a
you
good
see
golf
here in the collar piece,
Yeah.
there's TBO. That's you.
The big one.
That's very nice.
And I also add a little like wavy thing to represent like the trunk.
Oh, it's perfect. Thank you very much.
And on the back there's a little Kia.
Nice. Thank you so much. This is perfect. Now I'm not a little bitch.
Arkmar and Astra, what are you guys doing throughout this? Well, these 3 years. kind of working on this for about an hour and a half. It's snowing. It's
Basically, that
snowing quite a
when I
lot.
used to have my shield.
Astra, you're feeling
My
quite
AC was
chilly.
14 plus the 2 from the
I'm
shield.
chilly?
I
I thought it was
just
always
back
Arkma
up
that was
without the
chilly.
shield.
No, this is quite comfortable for me.
Shield is
What's
Well,
wrong?
If I decide
nothing.
If you look a little colder.
No, I'm fine. I'm working on a letter to Haster.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes.
you're fake.
What are you writing?
He's not fake.
Or you can message me if you want to keep it private, but it's up to you.
I'm probably there saying it out loud as I write it anyways. Dear Haster, I haven't heard from you in ages. I can't help but wonder if you've abandoned me or if you've been hurt. I'm honestly not sure which is worse. Please find a way to send me a sign. I will never give up on you. Please do not give up on me. Astra and Hoku.
Something to keep in mind, I did have to not use my goggles for this day or whenever I decide to, so I think I have dark
You
vision
finish
spell,
writing the
but-
letter, and going over it, and Hoku kind of crawls out of the bag and like looks at you and like muzzles up against you, looking down at the piece of paper. Purrs a little bit.
Any sign of Haster, Hoku?
Nope.
Does he just, he's like, nope.
Also, because I haven't told you this, for superior technique, I chose tripping attack.
Oh, no.
What'd that do?
Nothing.
What do you say? Tripping technique?
Tripping attack?
Argument, what are you doing anything interesting?
I'm just
Sure did.
so with the little wood pieces, some of that's being like collected, but other pieces, I guess I'm gonna try and make
Strength's good.
just a pair of snowshoes while snow's coming down. So I'll be like working on it, but maybe like you'll see kind of sticks kind of floating by as well. Yeah, just trying my hand at that.
Yeah. Essentially this kind of just becomes a little bit of an extension to your long rest as you all kind of work on this or relax around for a little bit and manage to break camp a little bit later, but with an armor piece adjusted. You begin to head out into the woods. Who's leading and which direction are y'all going in?
We'll be at the front with somebody else. Whoever else.
I'll be up there with my
Yeah, I'll
little
probably be in the
snowshoes.
middle because I probably move a little slow in the snow. Not the most dexterous
I'll be
elephants.
towards the back, I think, shivering. I don't want Arkma to see that I'm shivering.
I did get a fur coat from what's his name though, but yeah.
Elmi? I got it over my shoulders to hide my shivering.
Don't make it dark vision. I was checking.
I pick up the back.
Oh, spells?
Oh no, just like
Oh, I don't. Elephants don't have
Yeah,
dark
yeah.
vision.
Oh,
I
okay.
said I might have
Open
the
the
dark
window.
vision
I
spell,
didn't
but I don't think I
Pardon?
prepared it.
So
So
open the after the snow for me.
Oh, so you can follow in the footprints.
You all begin making your way.
towards this cool.
we're going to south.
Are you just going south?
For now, yeah.
Okay. Make a survival check. Whoever's leading the way.
Can we both make it?
Sure.
We're co-leading.
My low wisdom.
22.
10.
Calder, you're able to pinpoint the direction fairly reasonably throughout these trees. Perhaps maybe because of the snow and the way that the wind was blowing throughout the night.
Being very determined because last time I got turned around completely. I was not happy with myself.
It is still snowing, and the snow on the ground is starting to pile up, so it's almost like just above your ankle. So it's a lot slower
Yeah.
track than you're used to. I will roll.
Actually, good question. Where's the river relative to us? Like, is it?
It's behind you.
Oh, okay. So we're like the river. We're going. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The river was almost running east-west.
So we're going into the forest.
Yep. Roll a d20 for me.
Oh boy.
Who?
Whoever wants to roll a destiny
In
die.
before the white dragon appears.
There it is.
Do it up.
Destiny die? Not bad.
17.
Well, we don't know actually.
It's cold and it's hard traveling. You make your way through the woods, making sure you're not tripping over anything, clearing a little bit of snow out. It's impossible with the snow to travel stealthily or sneakily. You are leaving a trail of like plowed footprints behind you. Though it is partially getting filled in by the snow as it continues to fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is still fairly visible.
That's fair.
the first few hours, 2-3 hours into the early afternoon, the snow continues to fall, though a little bit less heavily than it was in the morning. Your travel seems to be going fairly reasonably, and you're fairly certain you're traveling in the southern direction.
Sweet.
Yeah, but keep an eye on the back to see if there's any creatures or anyone following us.
Make a perception check.
17.
There are no creatures. And as you're looking, that kind of unnerves you a little.
That's weird.
There's no other noise. There's no other creatures. There's nothing except for the wind and the snow. It's almost like there's complete lack of other noise from the woods that you've gotten used to while traveling through these woods the last few days. There's always like some sort of birds or something chirping, some sort of distant animal noises, even just the sound of your own feet like crunching the branches underneath. With the snow, everything kind of seems a little more muffled. It just makes you feel unnerved a little bit.
This place feels weird. There's nothing alive around us. Nothing.
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 Do you think they got to all the animals in the
They
perimeter?
are dead.
All dead?
They're all dead.
No.
That's the conversation that's happening behind us.
Do you think they're really all dead, or are they all hiding because of this whole thing
all
coming?
dead, all eaten, sucked dry by the vampires.
Oh.
Oh my god, we're going to die.
Guys, time is starting to freak me out. Can somebody come back here with me, please?
What's happening?
I'll slow down. Is everything okay?
No, all the animals are dead, he
They're all
said.
dead.
Well, I don't know if they're dead. There just doesn't seem to be any around.
Maybe they're not all dead, and maybe they're just
Yeah, I was-
hiding.
Have we checked on Arkmir's rabbit? Is it alive?
Oh no.
No, it's probably alive. I'm just curious.
Arkmir?
Turn around with blood in my mouth.
The
Jen-
rabbit has like blood out of its eyes.
No, Jen's fine.
Okay. See, Jen is fine.
As
She's in the fur coat.
you check the fur coat,
Oh no, please tell me Jen is fine.
she is alive, though she seems very skittish. Like she's
Yeah.
like, first off, she's shivering because it's cold.
Yeah.
Cold. But also she just seems very jittery. Like she's looking around everywhere. It seems unsettled.
See? Even the rabbit.
She's not dead.
No, she's not dead, but she's scared.
Well, yeah, that's different than dead. saying like the
She doesn't
rabbit.
want to be dead.
That's not why she's scared. She's just scared because she's cold. Right? Guys?
Who's scared of the cold?
It's really cold here.
What's that?
Nothing. Keep nothing.
I think with your passive insight, Calther, you would pick up on something. I'll message that to you.
He messaged me too.
You notice Arkmir's naked walking through the snow.
I don't need this fur. I just like the fashion choice.
So you continue traveling through the woods. About halfway through today's journey, do you change directions? Or are you continuing south? What are you doing?
Second guess yourself.
Mr. Calthair, should we still keep going south?
Was the manor in a different direction?
She gave you a little stone like arrowhead thing to like put on the ground and spin, and it
Called
will
it a
point you
compass.
to the
Oh.
direction where to go.
I thought she just said
Oh,
here.
I
That
have
that
yeah.
stone is what I asked who had the
Yeah.
stone.
Do you want to check if we're going in the right direction?
Sure. I mean, we can see where it is relative to us.
pull out the little thing from my bag.
Sure, we could use a stone,
Put it
whatever.
on the ground.
I got it.
You find like a little
Like,
bit of
clear a little bit of
you
snow.
clear a little bit of snow out from like a stone nearby, and you put it on and you spin it in a circle. It points, actually, by this point, mostly west, not maybe a little bit south, so almost like a complete left from which way you would be headed.
The compass is pointing to the left.
Or sorry, right.
Yeah.
You're
To the
going south,
right.
right.
That's like west.
Actually, because of how slow your travel would have been, it's like almost directly like southwest. Like
Almost
that
directly
way.
the
So like
direction
you're
you're
traveling in
going
this way, it's pointing that way.
Okay. How heavy is the snow at this point?
Not super heavy, not as heavy as it was in the morning, but it's still falling. It's still kind of gathering.
Akmir, do you want to take a look up and see if there's any signs, of, like any smoke or anything, in case there's
Yeah,
coming
sure.
close to? Might not see anything, but
You climb up the tree and you try to look out. Make a perception check for me with disadvantage because of this snowing.
What? Well, I don't think I need to roll another one. That was a 5.
it's too much snow in your eyes.
Yeah, I think just getting up to the top of the tree itself is a bit challenging because of like you have the spider climbing boots, but they don't find like anything good to stick to in some points. You manage to still make your way up. With all as he climbs up this tree, a bunch of snow from the leaves kind of falls down on all of you, making it even more harder for you all to see. And by the time you get up there, it's just snow in every direction. The trees are covered with snow. You don't see any smoke in the distance, but your visibility is also fairly limited, so it's kind of hard to see anything in particular.
Nothing. Well, I mean, we can head in that direction at least to maybe get an idea of where this place is. I do think when we get there, we'll want to stay connected, just to make sure we're able to speak in private if needed.
Can I see the stone?
Yeah, it's just on the ground here.
Yeah. Does it? I guess when I just spin it in my hand or anything, does it still behave in the same way, or is it just
Still behaves in the same way.
okay? Do you mind if I hold on to this?
Please, yes.
Sure.
Kind of just like keeping with us. We're going.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's too much further given what she had told us. About a half day's travel. We're getting close, so I assume we're going to be coming up on it.
Yeah. You begin making your way through the woods with the compass to guide you. It's fairly straightforward. I won't make you make a roll or anything. Within about an hour or so, you almost very suddenly find yourself just on the outside of a wrought iron fence. You're making your way through these trees, and maybe a couple of trees in front of you. There's a thick black metal wrought iron fence. It seemed surprisingly well shaped, good shape for being in the woods, in these snow-covered.
How far does it run on each side?
Trying to make it out through these trees. Seems to keep going for a while. There's no gate over here. You'd have to circle around a little bit to try and find one. Looking through the fence, you can see out in front of you, it's a fairly large ground. There aren't that many trees or anything within. You probably noticed like one or two trees. And then further in, there's a stone manor of sorts that seems to be built a little bit, not quite in the center of the fence, but a little bit off to the south side.
Do a perimeter? Get an idea of lay of the land?
You also see off in the distance, farther away from the manor, there's almost like a small structure of sorts that looks like it's also covered with snow. The manor is also fairly covered with snow.
Looking at the manor, can we get a sense of maybe what side we're on? Like what side we're coming from?
It's like back right. You imagine that the entrance is on the side, so
How
that's
high is
kinda what
this?
it makes.
How high is
seems
this
to make
fence?
sense. Probably like 7-8 feet.
Pretty
Not
tall
tall.
then.
It's all.
Yeah.
And it's just like a It's just a metal black fence.
Yeah, like thick black metal, like iron beams, wrought iron, like nothing too fancy.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't look too ornate. The manor itself does look a little bit like larger than you expected. Probably like 2-3 floors. One of the like there's almost like a little turret on one end. Fairly large. There's also as you're looking through from this angle, just make a perception check. Whoever's looking through.
Let's all
Probably
roll.
come there. Yeah.
No, just 6 and 2 people's fine.
19.
15.
You notice that almost like right in front of you, just on the opposite side of the fence, there's like a little bit of a there's a little bit of a recess in the ground.
Like a trench.
It's not. No, it's much larger than that. You imagine there's some sort of like pond or water feature here that's not fully frozen, so the snow is falling on it and it's either lower or melting, or it's just hard to see from here because of the fence. But there seems to be some sort of pond or something on this, maybe a small lake. You notice near the edge of the lake there's like these benches that are kind of set up. Looks fairly nice.
It's a bunch of graves.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, probably. It's a graveyard.
Like headstones.
Question: what time of day is it?
It's about late afternoon, probably 3:30, 4ish.
Okay. And did you say that there was a structure outside of the fence?
Not outside of the fence, inside of the fence, but on the opposite side of this lake. Like the lake is like here, the manor itself is like here. Off in this direction, there's another smaller structure that's just covered with snow.
Maybe like a shed or
I'm
something.
trying to get a sense of the scale. Is it a pond?
Or a
Or
moat.
are you actually meaning lake? Because lake is pretty big.
It's a pond. It's
Okay.
a pond. I keep calling it a lake, but it's
Okay,
not.
just a
It's
big
not a
pond.
lake.
I was just trying to get a
It's-
sense of the scale.
It's
'cause, like,
about
it
the
could be,
same.
like, huge.
No, it's about the same size as the manor itself.
Okay.
Okay.
That is
So it's
pretty
like a
big.
That's a big
2-3
But still
foot.
big. But it's okay.
And how heavily wooded is the area outside of the perimeter?
Outside of the fence,
Yeah, outside.
very heavily wooded. It's
Very
just a
heavily
normal
wooded?
woods.
It's like tons of woods and then just kind of like a clearing that's fenced in.
Is there any obvious defenses aside from the iron fence?
Make a perception
Laser
check.
turrets.
That's good.
Are there any pale figures looking at us, licking their lips?
Also, make a perception check.
Really?
15.
You don't notice
Are there any valuable
major-
items lying around?
You don't notice any obvious sources of defenses or anything like that.
Just
It's
curious
just a
if
fence.
they have to ward off werewolves or something.
Alright.
I rolled a 12. I'm basically looking for like movement. If I see any signs of life.
There's
Not really. You don't
They
see
come
much
out
of
in the
anything.
day though.
Gregor's
They
not-
just
Sure,
sparkle.
Gregor's not a vampire.
As,
You don't really see anything.
Okay.
as we circle around, Taiwan wants to keep an eye out for caves or anything that may look like a potential, either a hideout for wolves or like creatures that,
There's like a den or something.
yeah, like a den type of thing, or anything that could look like a tunnel, like a secret exit or entrance.
Make a perception check as you're continuing to make your way around.
Yeah, I think we'll slowly try to just do a lap.
Are there windows? Is like manor?
There's windows. Yeah. They're not large. They're like fairly long, like vertical.
And do we get any? I mean, just as we're walking around, are we able to glimpse inside? Anything? Or?
The manor is farther away from the fence.
Yeah.
Send
But we're
Hoku.
walking
really
around
see
to the
anything.
side. Yeah.
Can I
Don't
send
really see
Hoku to go fly up towards the windows and have a little peek?
You can.
Are there windows?
Yeah. There's a few. There's a few windows on the ground floor as well as like a few on the second and third floor.
Does Haku get evaporated the second he crosses the fence?
It's just small.
No.
You send Hoku off. Is there any particular window that you're looking to send him toward?
Just pops out of the car.
He would probably check it like if the first. We can start with like maybe one of the upper ones if there's no movement in
You're
there.
gonna see vampires
move
doing
over.
it.
Are you looking through his eyes and like she's just being led along while she's doing
There's a
this?
pond.
Yeah, I've got my hand on Timon's shoulder as I'm doing it.
Dangling his balls in the pond. God damn it,
What did I miss?
You send Hoku off to take a look through a few of these windows.
Balls in the pond.
Hoku's little fetish.
Jesus Christ.
That's what happened to Hoku.
That smells like fucking gunpowder. I didn't realize that if you do it just with the string, it actually like pops and stuff. Oh my god. That's what it is.
That's how it cracks. It's the string.
The top floor windows are fairly... Actually, almost all the windows are pretty dark on the inside.
Okay.
The ground floor window, it seems like you can make out some sort of light inside.
Yeah, it's already done.
But it's still very, like, it's hard to see anything through the windows just because of how fogged up they are and how cold it is outside.
Okay.
But you do know that there's, like, something's lit inside.
Okay, that's as much as I
That's
can
about
make
all
out.
that you can make out.
If he does a...
They're not, like, large windows. They're fairly narrow, maybe, like, less than a foot wide, maybe a foot wide.
Okay.
And more tall than anything. It's almost impossible. Like, Hoku would be able to, like, go through them, but the rest of you probably wouldn't be able to fit through them. They're not that type of window.
Okay.
They're like, if you've seen any of the, like, old churches, they're kind of like those type of windows. The only thing that's missing is kind of stained glass. There's a few on the top floor that are stained glass, but the ground floor ones are fairly plain.
Okay. Can I send him to do perimeter just around the manor?
Sure.
And see if there's any other windows, same thing, if there's any movement.
Yeah.
If not, then-
You send them on a perimeter, and you do almost immediately notice movement. There's a little bit of a stable on the far side, just attached to the manor itself. There's like a mist coming out from inside of it, and you can see like a large horse that's just stable there.
Is that the big, like the
Death
the thing that we were seeing before? Okay.
It's the steed that you saw her climb onto earlier.
Sorry,
It's like a massive war horse, basically, with armor and.
Yeah.
But you had mentioned like we saw like another building or something off in the snow.
No, that's different. This
That's
is attached to the manor itself.
Okay.
As you circle around the opposite side, it looks like some sort of. It's a fairly. If it was a snow covered, it would be a fairly well kept garden. It seems like there's a few archways that are built. There's a few hedges that are covered with snow, and then leading off, there's like almost a small greenhouse of sorts, you could say.
Cool.
And that's the structure that you saw in the distance, just covered with snow.
Okay.
You circle around and you can see on the grounds near where you were looking through, there is a like recessed pond with like pieces of ice that are just floating on it, almost fully frozen but not quite. It's mostly all you can make out. Seems like just a fancy manor.
Okay. I'll bring him back and I'll snap out of it. Didn't really see a lot. Not much going on inside the windows. Did see that horse though.
So she's home, most likely.
Yeah. Apparently they're gardeners too. That thing over there that we can see, that's garden. And there's a greenhouse looking thing.
You round the corner and you can see off in the distance a little bit of a, seems like a gate of sorts, a little taller and larger. The fence seems a little bit grander. You approach it and in front you can just see it's a closed gate with like two large, about like this big lion heads, one in the middle of both of the gates with like a little round wrought iron hook that's dangling from them. Very old school Gothic. Whoever wants to, just make a history check. Right?
I feel like this wouldn't apply today, so I'm not
I feel like I would.
Yeah.
I feel like I would from Max. 23.
8.
Nope.
12.
Astra, you rolled a 23. You'd walked through, if I remember correctly, you had walked through some of the the neighborhoods in Ward 2 of Schema, right? The Mage neighborhood? That was where the sophistication was.
Yes.
I think you guys went there.
Yep, I did go there.
You'd recall seeing similar sort of architecture and fences and structures there, in particular, just in terms of like the wrought iron fence,
That
the
was like the
lion
upper
head
class
motif.
one.
it seems very similar. Something about it strikes you as being the structure, the design, the architecture seems similar to some of the larger manors that you've seen in Board 2 of Schemes. Stand in front of these gates. What do you?
How does everyone feel about going inside and having a conversation?
Well, I'm pretty sure we have to be invited to be able to get in, if I remember correctly from my books.
I mean, we were invited.
Sorry, Nia. One thing I forgot. Was this history check related to like the stonework of the building?
Kind of related to the metalwork of the building, but I'll allow it.
Okay, because I think I might have something that gives me advantage for that very specific.
Stone cunning, I think.
Yeah, stone cunning.
Sure, take advantage from it.
You are considered proficient in the history skill and double your proficiency bonus to the check. Oh, so I don't roll again,
You just get double.
Yeah, you just get double.
but I get double proficiency. So yeah, that goes to a 15.
15-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's probably
Give or take.
similar. Like the stone structure here, it seems fairly typical for. It seems fairly typical for more fancy buildings. You haven't necessarily seen anything similar aside from I don't even remember. Were you with the group when they went to Ward 2 of Schema?
Yeah.
I think it was.
we did split
I don't know
up.
if you
We did
were.
split up.
Yeah.
We split up that
We
time.
did.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were with us.
No.
You've been to Ward 2.
You have
You have been to Ward 2. You've been to Lady Garnett's house and
Yeah.
that sort
Yeah.
of stuff. So
You
Um,
then.
yeah, it's similar sort of construction. It seems like a typical sort of stonework that seems to denote like upper class houses. Fairly typical work. Nothing too out of the ordinary. You would be able to tell that it is old, very old, especially the stonework. The fence looks immaculate. The fence looks like it was made barely a year ago. But the house manor from the distance, it looks old. The stone is worn with like years and years and years of sort of like wear and erosion, particularly from the snowstorms and the wind blowing.
And the fence is wrought iron, it's not steel.
Nope.
And there's no rust in it. And there's no rust. Or
There is no rust.
This is so strange. The building looks very, very old. Similar to the ones in War 2, I think, like Astra said, but what the fuck is up with this fence? This is not steel, this is iron. Wrought iron, so it rusts. But there's no rust in it. It looks like it's barely a year old and it's so long. So
Perhaps
long.
they take their
Perhaps they
Defense
have an
very
army
seriously.
of
fence
cornhole
builders.
slaves.
Wow, that was quite the jump.
Oh no. Do I recognize any of the patterns from any of the...
Not really. I don't think
families?
you've seen any similar work
No.
before. They honestly, like in Cornwall, there's not many fences. You just have Cameron walls in order to keep things away.
But I would assume that there's some style to the
Yeah.
the patterns.
It's not similar. So,
I don't like this idea.
what are you doing in front of the gate here?
Just gonna go up and knock on the door.
Before, perhaps we should.
Actually, I'm gonna roll this time. 5 hours.
Okay. Cool.
Not me.
I can
not
I can
yet.
pass stuff on, don't worry.
I can't reply back. Wait, can I reply
Yeah, you
back to
can.
yours? I can't send today. I didn't prepare it. That's fine.
You grab one of the lion head things and you knock. As you let go, as it hits the metal, there's a loud roar of a lion that erupts from it.
Whoa.
You hear it from all around you.
Again.
Do it again.
And then the gate opens. Just the other one that you knocked.
That's pretty
That's
good.
actually.
Creaks
I thought
open.
Matt Mercer was beside me.
Did you let one go there?
Yeah, I don't know either. She was impressed by the front.
Just wide enough for
Doesn't take
all
much
of you
for
to
me.
Yeah.
make your way in.
I took this instead of sending.
These doors are well.
You step through, and you can tell almost immediately as you make your way through the gate on the opposite side. The ground isn't rough patchwork through the snow anymore. You can feel cobblestone underneath it as you like shake your feet through the snow a little bit. Make your way through. The path actually seems to curve a little bit because you try and just make the straight path towards the door, and you very quickly find yourself stepping on grass and potentially, seemingly, some sort of flowers that might have been dead through a garden bed of sorts. You approach the gate. The gate from behind you closes silently. You approach the door, and the door, almost as though as you are appearing, seems to just open. And standing behind it, you see a very large figure. Pretty much as tall as the big one.
Holy shit.
Wearing a
Yeah.
wearing a very fancy looking
Tuxedo.
3-piece suit.
Yes. Fuck yeah.
With a bow tie and a white shirt. Very tight fitting black coat.
Is his name Lurch?
It's a rather old, grizzled, pale-skinned, red-eyed furbolg.
Oh, he's a vampire fucking furbolg.
With his hair just slicked back into like a longer ponytail.
That's so cool.
He looks stern, staring back at you. He also looks jacked out of his mind. Like, you'd seen
Red-eyed
Elmer before.
jacked.
He is built.
He's no Gerald.
Did you say furbolg or bugbear?
Furbolg.
God damn, that's a yoked furbolg?
Yeah.
A yoked albino furbolg.
Is he white?
Yes. Pale-skinned, gray hair,
Is
a
he
little
under-
bit of a gray beard, just
Is
There's
he under
different
bright
the
red
sun?
eyes.
It was like FIR.
It's sunny outside.
But
He's
there's
not
other
quite
ways
as
to
jacked
spell it.
as
I
Elmer,
forget
though, right?
His suit does not look like it fits him very well at all. He's wearing like you can make out almost like a rather fancy belt that's just around his waist. It seems like it has like an intricate pattern of two fists that are just kind of like crossed with each other.
He's getting fisted.
Oh no.
He opens the door and he looks out at you all, stern-faced, narrow eyes. The mistress said to be expecting you. Please, come in. He steps into the hallway.
Do I trust him?
Make an insight check.
I pull out a silver fork and twist his werewolves in here.
Oh, I have advantage, yes. Well, thankfully, I have advantage.
Yeah,
It wasn't
seriously.
that one. 14.
I mean, you have the same information that you do. Do you trust him or not?
Based
Does he
on
want
the
to
way
partner?
that he is speaking and moving, do I get a sense that he's like kind of
Charmed.
a thrall of some kind, like under some effect that's very.
I think with the little interaction that you've had so far,
It's
it'll
too
be
hard
hard
to
to
tell.
tell. Maybe once
Alright.
you
What
get
color is
inside
the
a little
carpet
more.
inside? Is it red?
Like
right as the door opens, is it just like a red carpet?
no, it's
Damn
actually green.
Oh, still cool.
Yeah, the floor is stone. You step inside.
There's gotta be a
You
carpet
find yourself in a
vampire
fairly-
manor.
In a fairly narrow hallway, with a few doors flanking on either side. It ends rather shortly in front of you, and the hallway seems to turn to the left. He's just standing at the corner where it turns, and he says, "Please, feel free to hang your coat or any attires here in the doorway. I will lead you to the study."
Are there any portraits on the walls or any like park or anything. But
Or mirrors.
or
Look
mirrors.
like
God damn it.
Is there any
There's no
freshman
mirrors, but there are portraits. There are paintings on the wall.
Do their eyes follow us?
Their eyes do not move. Their eyes do not follow you.
Anything of note of them.
There's one of like an elvish figure on top of a horse.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Is he in like black armor?
Does it look like her,
Um,
or does it look like
you stop to like take a look
unknown,
at the
unknown
painting.
figure?
Does it look
Is
like
it the
Calthier?
armor?
Yeah.
Or does it look like
Does any of them look like Calthier?
Is there a leader?
Oh, could you- that would be so cool.
Ah, shit.
It's hard to tell. The figure is wearing like a helmet with
Okay.
like black wings, like ear tips
Does the
and
breast-
stuff. You
does it
don't
have,
recognize
like,
the helmet or
Does
the
it look
armor.
like the armor? that
no,
she
it's
was
not the
wearing?
armor.
Oh, okay, okay.
I will take my fur coat out and hang it on.
Yeah, I'll hang the
there.
fur coat as well.
Yeah. I'll keep my normal black and purple coat.
What
I'm
is
keeping
the,
mine fed and chilly.
I'm still holding on to Jen. Is there any visible response from this furball in this season? No.
This poor fucking rabbit.
Okay.
I mean, the rabbit is scared and terrified out of its mind.
Yeah.
There's a small pile of pellets that's just forming in your coat pocket. That's about,
You don't
that's
have
about
to have
all.
calm emotions, do you?
Yeah.
You just eat it? It's disgusting.
I'm putting it in my trench coat. Yeah, like so it's there. The fur coat we hung up.
Okay. Yeah, the Gregor is just standing there,
Oh, it is Gregor.
minding
Oh, that's
you
great.
all. Yes, the mistress will be joining us in a few hours. If you would like to, feel free to spend some time in the sitting room or in the study. She'll join us eventually. If there's anything you need, I can fetch it from the kitchen or anything in particular. I must please ask that you try to refrain from exploring the premises as much as possible until the mistress is with us.
One other thing, I might not know anything about them. I want to know if typically Furbows have red eyes.
You've met Elmer and he didn't have red eyes.
True. Damn, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Do a couple of things. Make an insight check now that you've interacted with them a little bit more. And then you can make like a nature check.
Well, technically, so actually, inside I would have advantage, but unless I get a
You did it better.
Whoa.
Oh wait, that's a
26 for the insight. And then what was the other thing?
nature.
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 I will, in the meanwhile, message you.
Can you message me too?
8 on the nature. I notice everything about him, but I know nothing about Furbows.
Oh, yeah, you have other than Elmer. It would have been cool if we opened the door and it was Elmer with red eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you don't recall anything. You haven't seen very many
Yeah.
Turbos.
Okay. Yeah, I'll step in the direction that he told us to go.
He leads you along the hallway to the left, opening a large set of double doors that are kind of to the right now. And you find yourself in a fairly large, rather comfortably decorated sitting room. There's a few bookshelves on the wall, a small desk. There's a small teapot and tea arrangement, a couple of like wine bottles that are set in the side. Seems fairly comfortable. There isn't really much light. There's a few candles that are lit here, but it's enough to be comfortable. It's not dark completely.
I'm gonna assume that he either introduced himself or we asked because you said it was Gregor. So I'm just gonna.
He actually doesn't say his name at all, but if you ask for him,
Oh, okay then. Well, I would have asked, but you said right. So,
yeah,
can we presume that you are Gregor?
yes, I'm at your service, at my mistress's service.
Why do I have red eyes?
You can't just ask people
Oh,
that.
I'm sorry.
I was born like this.
He asked me the same thing about my eyes.
I mean, no offense.
Why do you serve her?
That's a rather complicated question for someone you've just met. Why do all of you travel together?
We're best friends.
I mean, we travel as companions and friends. I don't think any of us would refer to either other or as a master or mistress or servant of one another.
It's simply a colloquial way of speaking I'm used to. Shay and I are good friends. I work for her. She has built a lot of this. And a lot of it is hers. And she'll be around much later than myself. So
Well, I
this
apologize
is hers.
for being so forward. I didn't mean any offense. We know very little of you and Shay, and she did mention in the brief interaction that you and her were at war, if we're not mistaken, at one time. So to see this type of companionship now.
He
Isn't
kind of
this-
walks through and just stands facing one of the windows that's on the opposite side of where a few of these seating arrangement inside is, just staring out. Yes. That was quite some time ago. Several centuries.
While he's speaking, do I notice any fangs?
Make a perception check.
And while they're talking, I'm sneaking in behind to look at the bookshelf. And I'm kind of scanning along the books and then pulling the odd one to see if a secret door opens.
18 for perception.
You don't notice any fangs.
Okay.
You go and take a look at these books, and there's a lot of books. And actually, a few you recognize from Tower, like rather flights of fancy books. You don't find any Nancy Shrew books or anything. They don't really seem like high learning or any of those works. A lot of these are fiction books, mystery novels, all sorts of like a few titles that you recognize.
A lot of fan fiction.
The old fanfic.
You pull a couple. They're not even very covered in dust. They're fairly well maintained and kept clean.
Are there, if there's any that look more used than the others, like any really ratty books that look like they're touched all the time, I don't want to look at that one.
We can get back to that.
Okay.
Sorry, where were we?
He
You
was
were
just-
asking him.
Well, he was
yeah.
just mentioning a little bit about like
Oh, right,
centuries ago.
Yes. Shay, or Shaeira. I prefer to simply call her mistress. She, let's just say she was. There were several forces interested in capturing her, eliminating her. I was hired by some of them. I spent decades of my life on her trail trying to foil her every move, and we developed a rather interesting relationship of cat and mouse, as you might say. He's throughout this entire thing, he's just looking out through the window.
If you don't mind me asking, why were people hired for her capture or elimination?
Well, I don't think her kind are treated with much other, to be honest. She's been her nature as a vampire was fairly well known amongst the circles that she traveled in, and several people were looking to eliminate her.
So it was based purely on her nature and not anything she did.
True.
Definitely.
Make an insight check.
Have you ever heard of a vampire elephant?
I have not.
You could be the first.
I know.
17.
Doesn't seem like he's lying.
While they're having this conversation, are there any weapons on on the walls, like
Decorative weapons.
decorative or otherwise, axes, swords, rapiers,
Wooden
shields.
stakes.
Any animal busts?
In this chamber, not really. There's no weapons. There is a large shield that's kind of on one of the walls, flanked by two longish portraits. The portraits just seem to be of figures, humanoid figures. Both of them one of them seems like a female, like elf. The other one, a little older female elf, just both facing each other on like opposite sides of it. But nothing. There doesn't seem to be anything fancy or sophisticated about the shield. It seems like just decor.
Is there any crest on the shield?
No, not really.
And the stonework, can I see if there's anything recognizable about the style of masonry other than what I could glean from the outside?
Not much. A lot of the stonework is either covered with either paintings or the bookshelves or tapestries. It's not anything. There isn't really much to determine from where you are currently in this chamber.
That reminded me, one thing I was going to ask also about the artwork, but also, so walking through the hallway and into this room as well, just looking around, do I notice any religious or holy symbols of any kind, or any notice of any kind of worship?
No, you actually don't see any that seem like they would be relevant. Astra, you do come across a book that you do remember reading from the tower. It's the first book in a series known as the Blood Chronicles.
Ooh.
AKA Twilight.
The subtitle of this one is Shadows of the Night.
Oh shit, they fuck.
Is it a steamy
That's in
book?
book 2.
You have no idea. You'd have to read it. There
I
isn't
haven't
really
read
a
it yet.
description on either side. Actually, no. You probably would have read it, but just a long time ago. It's not that steamy. No, it's like
Boring.
yeah.
Okay.
Did Gregor shine? Like, did Gregor shine under the sunlight or something?
Not really.
No.
I'm gonna sit down in a chair and just kind of flip through and read stuff.
Yeah. So in this chamber where you're sitting, there's like a little bit of a seating arrangement. A few couches that are scattered on one side. There's like a desk and then a window on the other side that he's just standing in front of, looking out. There's also another door. There's a door that you came in from, and then there's another door to the left.
Is there any beverages around?
I can go gather some.
I mean, I can make tea if you have some hot water.
But they might not have tea. They drink blood.
But I have tea on me.
Do they have water?
Do you have water?
Yes, both
Is it-
water and tea can be arranged.
Is it water and blood? I don't know. She says that you only eat blood.
I myself am not.
Oh, you're not a vampire.
No.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
11.
Natural 20!
Yeah.
Fairly certain he's not a vampire.
Oh,
He just has
if it's
dry
not,
eyes.
Yeah, if it's not too much trouble.
He's really
I
high.
think he literally is just an albino animal.
Just an albino purple,
Yeah.
guys. Come on.
I would love a tea if it's not too much trouble.
Yes, in fact, it will give me an opportunity to prepare something for someone other than myself for once.
Oh, sounds
Yeah.
wonderful.
Very well, I will join you momentarily. Is there anything else you would like from the kitchen?
Do you have any pastries?
No.
Okay, nothing.
You have. There's a few remaining.
Do you have any apples?
Have you got any ale?
No apples, but I do have some oranges.
I'll
We've
take
grown
6,
some.
please.
Macaroni and cheese?
No, unfortunately, there's no pasta.
Ale, spirits, booze.
There's a few bottles of wine just there on.
That will do.
Yes, some of the more historic ones are kept underneath in the cellar for special occasions. But I'm sure if the mistress was to ask, we could potentially crack some open for tonight. I'm sure she was very excited when she returned last night, and I think she would be quite pleased to have guests and to entertain and have some conversations. And she was rather excited about the prospect of a sleepover.
What food do you have that you recommend? What are your favorites?
The last crop of vegetables, there were some rather nice tomatoes that came out from it. You can whip up some bread with some olive oil and tomatoes. I hear some people call it bruschetta.
I'll have that.
I can arrange for that.
6 oranges, please.
Yeah.
And I'll have a pastry.
They don't have pastries.
I'm not quite adept at baking personally.
I'll just sit here with this book.
Very well. And anything for you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Okay. He turns and walks out of the other door that you hadn't entered from, leaving you all alone in this sitting chamber.
How many other doors are there in this chamber?
In this room, just the one that he came in from, and the other one that's to your left that he walked out of.
Sorry, did I understand that the wine was accessible?
Yeah, there's 2 bottles of wine that are just like on a shelf.
Those places give me the creeps, guys.
You crack open one of the bottles of wine. It tastes good.
Good wine.
How are we feeling about this place so far? Gregor seems relatively fine.
I like it.
Strangely normal.
Not
Other than his
puppet.
suit.
Didn't feel so much like a puppet.
We're all going to die.
You're a cup half empty kind of person today.
It's just this place. I don't like it. I don't like this forest. I don't like these creatures. I don't like this creepy manner.
I think it's just in your head. You're making it creepy.
She can't be that bad. Look at her book collection. I'm
The
starting to
door
come around on it.
the door opens again, and Gregor just peeks in really
You're gonna be
quickly.
the guy that when it all goes wrong, you're gonna be like, I fucking told you.
Apologies. The mistress did tell me something, and I was to remind you all. She left you with a stone, some sort of compass type thing. Yes. She asked that you all keep it on you at all times.
Why?
I do not know.
But we already found the manor.
Hey, chuck it. No.
She insisted that I tell you that it is of the utmost importance that you keep it on you at all points in time. He turns around and closes the door and walks away.
A homing beacon. It's tracking us.
Maybe it's listening to us.
Too. Can you turn me into a vampire?
Yeah, in your head you see it. That was interesting. Might want to be careful with that thing.
Yes.
As he walks out, and as you all are sitting in the sitting room, that might be a good spot to take a short break.
Oh,
Do you
boy.
want to take a break?
Do we have the bag of
I'm
holding?
fine with that. Do you need to pee?
No.
We're going to do a bit of a shorter session, so if you don't want
you're
to
ending at
take a
10,
break.
so do we need a break? Are we
Huh?
good?
I'm good. Yeah.
I can hold it.
I mean, you can
I'll
also
get
just
some more
stand
water.
there if you want.
Just a quick one. I'm gonna get some water.
Alright, yeah, we
Someone
can just
see
take
it.
a couple minutes.
Yeah,
30
let's take a short
second
break.
break.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll be right back. I'm going to take
Bye,
this
bye.
opportunity.
Yellow.
Maybe.
So, in this sitting chamber, what are you all up to? You pulled out the...
I'm gonna ask
So-
Astra, do you have the box of holding from Clanko?
Yeah, it's in my backpack.
Do you mind if I toss this in there?
Sure. Yeet. You hear Hoko. You hit him with this.
Bounce off his head and then into the bag.
He crawls up on my shoulder.
Yeah. Put it away. Yeah.
Just sipping my tea. Oh wait, he hasn't brought it
There's
back
no
yet.
tea yet. Nah, it's
Damn it. Then I'm practicing.
I'm sitting in a big chair reading the book.
I'm looking out the window to see if I like just watching for movement and stuff as time starts, like as it continues to get later.
Do I smell any blood?
Blood.
No
Not
signs of
really.
it? Interesting.
There's
The
anything else
wall
peculiar about this place?
It looks like a fairly comfortable sitting chamber. Nothing seems too peculiar about it at all. It seems, if anything, it seems really clean, but still not used too much. Like the seat that you sit on, it's like a little bit hard, not like it's been like used too much. There's like a desk, but the desk has like an ink pot on it that's still sealed. It seems almost performative as opposed to like something that sees much use.
Okay. I'm just gonna slowly open the door that Gregor came from and just kind of peek.
Does it look like an illusion, Michael?
Not really. You open the door and you find yourself into like a small, it seems like a there's like a small hallway with like another small door that's heading to the right. That door is ajar. And at the end of the hallway there's a door that's closed.
But this place kind of gives me the same vibe as this first room that we're in. Is it like
Yeah.
just all well kept and like?
Yeah, it's like a few like candlesticks with like 3 candles on top of it, but only like one of them is lit. Yeah, it seems fairly simplistic. It seems ornate,
music,
but unused in many ways.
Actually, how is the temperature in the room inside this place?
It's a little on the chilly side.
Okay.
It's not as cold as outside, of course, but there isn't like a roaring fire or anything.
Yeah, okay. I was just curious.
Do you continue down the hallway, or do you come back, or what do you do?
So that's like one hallway. Are there like 2, or is it just?
So
that
there's the
one?
door that you came in from.
Yeah.
That leads you out to the main hallway. And then this seems like a little bit of a side hallway, or like almost like a, I don't know, servant's quarter or like passageway that way.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll stroll down. I'll like as for Gregor.
You look through the door that he that's ajar. You can make out almost. It looks like it's not quite a kitchen per se, but it's like a pantry of sorts. There's large sacks of food materials or something that's stashed there. Not much, to be honest. But that sort of continues on deeper into like there. You can also feel warmth coming from it within. So you gather if there is some sort of fire or something in that chamber. There probably is one. You reach the end of the hallway and there's a door in front of you. You pull that open and inside there's a very fancy dining room of sorts. The large table in the middle. Seems like plates and arrangements have been made for 6 people. The table is set, but there's no food or anything of that sort. But behind this, at the head of the table, there is a rather large portrait.
I was gonna say,
And at this portrait is of a frail-looking, black-haired elven woman. Wait, was she a black hair or blonde? I don't remember.
Is it staring at me?
blonde.
Blonde hair.
She is blonde.
Yeah.
Where are
Elven
its
woman.
eyes looking?
Straightforward, just in like a rather simple dress, not anything fancy or ornate about it. You also notice on the opposite wall, not opposite of the painting, but opposite of the direction where you entered, there's a much smaller version of the same painting that doesn't look like it's done very well mimicked. It looks like a copy of the other one, but very poorly done.
Weird.
What?
It's hanging on the wall.
She tried to do it every draw or something. That's
Like,
good.
I can do this myself.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I just turn away from the window for a moment. I'm like, where did Akame go?
I'm just gonna go to where I think Gregor is, and I'm like, Gregor, can I lend a hand to anything here?
Yeah, you step through the pantry and you find your way through a couple of other doors into a rather large kitchen that's immaculately clean. There's a small bit of like plates where he's setting up. He's got like a pot of water boiling. He's setting up. He's cut up like a piece of bread and is now in the process of cutting up some tomatoes. Please don't. I do not. I don't need help. Please relax and be at peace. I'm sure tonight will be quite exciting for all of you. Perhaps maybe conserve your energy.
For the orgy.
I'm a sucker for architecture. I was wondering, do you mind if I just roam around?
So long as you don't, you can roam around freely on this floor. You simply do not go downstairs or too far upstairs. The second floor, if you'd like to explore, you may, but most of the doors on there will probably be locked. The third floor, I would suggest against visiting, as well as the cellar.
Sure. Do you mind if I ask why? It's you don't have to share, but just...
Well, that's simply how it is.
You ever invite me to your house?
You know,
my house, she's like, cool. Starts looking at her.
Totally. Oh, those are locked? Yeah. Okay. Not for long.
Opening all the drawers.
I'm just gonna.
The cellar is privacy, as well as some. There would be some danger to you if you were to travel down there. There are certain mechanisms that the mistress has put in place for protecting her place of rest, so to speak, her chambers.
Messaging the group. We're going downstairs.
Yeah.
The top floor is rather powerful arcane presence there. I would recommend you stay away from it.
Thank you. Well, I'll let you continue here. Thank you again for making this, and just fascinated with your house, your home.
Yes, we've made it our home, so to speak.
Actually, the question is, just notice that everything seems exceptionally clean here.
Yeah.
Is that your doing?
Yes, I don't have much to do during the day.
Oh, doing a spectacular job.
Thank you. While you're in this kitchen, you do notice a door just off to the right, away from the way that you came in. The rest of this, you're fairly certain, like you've been through, there haven't been any other doors or pathways, but there is a door off to the right here in this kitchen.
I'm just gonna go up to it.
Those would be my chambers. If you...
Okay.
Just looks back at
I don't
you.
understand the problem. No, okay. Understood. Got some information.
You turn around.
We'll save it for later.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the rest of you back in the sitting room. What are you up to? You basically finished the first bottle of wine. There's another one just sitting on the wall there.
Have I noticed any, like, what? It's probably getting like early evening, right?
Yeah, early evening, probably like 5-ish. Also, it is fairly late in the year, so the sun does set fairly early.
Is there just the one window in this room?
In this room, yes, there's just one.
Have I noticed any animals or anything outside? I'm just kind of watching.
Make a perception check.
Natural 20, baby. 27.
You don't notice any movement, but you feel like you're being watched.
Again? Damn it. I turn around.
From
I'm just
outside?
Damn it, stop watching me, Diamond. Do I get, is it a similar feeling to before when I felt, like when I had seen, like this sense of like scrying on me? Or?
You feel very similar.
Okay.
Yeah, you did before.
I'm here, I'm not gonna... I will send a message to Arkmir to relay to the others and just let them know. I can't be certain, but I get the feeling we or I am being watched again. I'm not sure why Shay is paying such close attention. I'm assuming it is Shay, I don't know for sure, but let the others know. Just Shay's not directly with us yet, but perhaps she is watching.
Calthea is certain that we're being watched.
Astra's
So
still
be
just-
on your best behavior as I continue to roam the house.
As I belch throughout the halls.
With that feeling, I'll just if there's a chair or something, I'm just gonna sit down in the chair and just kind of like patiently wait.
But I will relay to the rest of you. Gregor has made it clear to me that I'm free to at least explore this floor and a bit of the second floor of this house, but made it well known that we should stay away from the basement because maybe some traps or creatures, something that could be dangerous to us. And on the third floor, there's some level of arcane magic. So for whatever reason, something brings you into either of those areas, be wary. That the paintings here are great.
I'm just imagining like sitting in this room, the hallway door is open, and Arkmir's like, we're free to explore whatever we want. And like him walking past the door, except he's like on the ceiling, like walking upside down, just like there he goes. Just taking advantage of his boots everywhere he
Clean this, Gregor.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you guys think is in the cellar?
I'm just relaying your question to everyone.
I can talk
you can
to
all
people.
send them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can do that too.
I can do it too. I don't need you. Because what I've read from books, like I know vampires, like I don't know, like they make great lovers. Maybe there's like, maybe it's like a
Sex dungeon?
yeah, maybe down in the cellar.
No.
Is that why she's invited us here?
We won't know until she makes her presence known.
I'm already stroking my trunk.
Yeah, we can do a quick run through of like any other rooms that you would like to explore over the next hour or so before sunset happens.
Has my tea come yet?
A short while later, Gregor returns with a tray of bread covered in olive oil and tomatoes, as well as tea, as well as another 2 bottles of wine,
So what about the oranges?
and a small bag of oranges.
Thank you.
There's
There we go.
exactly 6 of them.
Yep, and they're going right in my bag.
I'm just exploring the rooms that are unlocked. So anything that is locked, I'm not touching it, especially with the warning from Calthea.
mostly on this first chamber, or on the first floor. You've kind of explored most of it. There's a small, rather secluded, like smaller chamber with just like a single chair that's kind of set up almost like a little sitting room for just one person, like a parlor type situation. There is a small wash closet that's set up. It's actually rather rare to find like more than one washroom in most of these houses, but there's like a smaller chamber that doesn't have a bath in it, so you assume that there's multiple others.
Right.
And then the only room of note that you find is actually on the second floor. If you go upstairs on the second floor, most of the doors are locked, but one of the doors is unlocked, and you step inside and you find a very messy chamber. This is the only chamber that actually seems lived in. This is the only chamber that actually seems like it sees active use. It's got like a rather like comfortable looking chase lounger. It's got several painting easels set up, as well as art supplies, paint. There's like a small desk in one corner. The second floor, this entire almost like side of the second floor is taken up by this room. There's only two other doors on the floor that are like on the opposite side of the hallway. At one end, there's like a messy desk with a typewriter placed upon it. And it's a strange contraption. You've never seen a typewriter before, but you walk over to it and it looks like it has like character sets and like a piece of paper, like a mechanical contraption that you could potentially write something with.
Yeah.
That's what you were gonna say.
There's like 3 or 4 different musical instruments that are just lined up, like scattered all across the chamber. There's like a violin in one corner. There's a little bit of a flute in another corner. It just seems all like a very messy artist studio.
If there are paintings in here, are they like the large grand one that was really nice, or the one that was kind of like derpy?
They're a combination of both.
It's a lot of stick figure paintings.
There's a painting that's currently in the process of being worked on, about halfway done, that looks pretty rough. But there's another couple that are hanging on the walls. That one actually seems like it's a painting of the grounds, because you can make out like the little greenhouse structure, as well as like a nice plant bed and like grounds with like the wrought iron fence in the background. It looks beautiful and very realistic. So, like a combination of both in some ways. But it's the only chamber that really like seems like it sees use at all. The other 2 doors are just locked on this floor.
So nothing's written on that piece of paper and that typewriter. Yeah.
No, but there are a bunch of pieces of paper just scattered around everywhere. You can pick up a couple and read them. They seem like really shitty fiction. Like, it doesn't take much to figure out that whoever's writing these is not very good at writing stories. It's like very short, abrupt sentences.
Grab it and then we'll have to make Rafay read it to us.
Yes. I start reading it. What does it say?
You pick up one and it says, she found a clue. It was yellow. Everything was yellow.
It was all yellow.
It was all yellow. She didn't know why it was yellow.
Damn, this chick sucks.
It's really bad.
Is the title of this book Yellow?
No, it's blue, surprisingly.
That's the twist.
That's why she doesn't know
Yeah.
why.
You flip over a couple of other pages and you do find a title. It just says The Color.
Oh, damn.
I'm invested.
A
I have to know
novella
why it's yellow.
by Shaeira Calidune. That's like one of the pages. And there's just a bunch of them. They're all varying. The writing in particular is awfully bad. The paintings, there's like a mix of good and bad. Yeah, there's just a bunch of art here.
Right.
Trying to find
Yeah. I'm gonna
the movie line here.
now make my way back to the quarters of everyone.
You come down, and by this point of exploring, it's almost about like 5:30 or 6, the sun would be pretty much setting. You do hear in the distance howling of wolves as the sun sets.
I hope we have
Full
to
moon comes out.
And you can see from the window in the sitting room as you look out off in the distance, as the night sky darkens, a large full moon in the sky. The clouds seem to have dissipated, the snow seems to have stopped.
Question, Liam. In the time that I would be just drinking away my fears in that room, can I take a look at the painting that's there of the figure with the winged helm?
Yep.
And then, is there anything written around that painting? And 2, can I recognize anything about that armor?
Make an investigation check.
Can you read it? Do it. Come on.
8.
You don't see anything written in particular on it. Looking at the armor design, it's unlike any that you've seen in either Cornhall or Schema. That is something that you do there. That's all that you really make out.
Does it look like it's does it I assume it looks fancy?
It looks very ornate. I can describe the painting a little bit more to you, if you'd like. It looks like a battle that was being fought. The central figure of this is the knight in black armor, with like the wing-tipped ears. A noticeable trait of the painting: there is a full moon in the sky of this painting. The fields themselves that this battle is being fought on seem like clay and dirt, not any fancy grass or anything of that sort. And the opposing forces, as you can kind of make out from the that this figure is kind of cutting down, they seem to be in golden armor. And some of them seem to have wings.
The golden armored figures?
Yes. Not all of them. Just the one that's like being stabbed with this like the knight is using a long spear to stab into the figure. That figure has like wings.
angelic wings. Confused.
Like a sea.
It's like little fruit fly.
It's like golden armor.
I'm just curious if the wings are like feathered.
No, they are metal wings.
Okay.
And
They look like part of the armor.
are there any symbols on any of the armors?
Not with that robe. You do not notice that.
Okay. And does Gregor come back to the room?
He did, yeah.
I'd like to ask him, Mr. Gregor,
Yes.
are you a werewolf?
No.
Inside.
It's a check.
Want to.
20. Dirty.
I have no idea if he's telling you the truth or not.
Mysterious. Can you tell me a little bit more about that painting over there? Who are the golden armored people and the black armored people?
There was a battle many years ago. Almost many centuries ago at this point. This battle, this painting depicts that battle.
What do you think?
I wonder if he was at, if this is the battle that she mentioned. Because they said that they were at war. I wonder if he was part of Gold Team. Maybe. He may have been part of Team Gold. Which means
I believe there was a battle between.
he believes.
Are you familiar with the Rexate of Icefall?
Right.
Yes.
It's not too far from here, right? Is it the
Yes.
Frostfang Mountain?
Many centuries ago, they believed themselves holier than they are. They wore this gold angelic armor, bearing themselves warriors of God, and attempted to subjugate many of the Rexites within Rivenaft under their iron fist, and many did not take kindly to it.
Do I recall any wars between Icefall and Cornwall?
Make a history check.
16.
Not within any recent memory at all.
Yeah, but no stories, tales.
I mean, Icefall has always been a little bit militaristic and very lawful. They have the strongest military, you would know that much by far. But not to the extent of going to war against any other Rexites.
Does that painting have sentimental meaning to you or Shay?
Not to me, personally. But Shay often refers to it. She is older than me, so perhaps she does. She knows more.
Was she in that war?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And as you say this, actually, one of the doors at the end of the hallways opens, and a very thin, fairly shortish, frail, blonde-haired woman in a simple polka dotted, in a simple polka dot sort of sundress, just peeks out. Ah, you're here. Hi.
Just before
Is
we
it Shay?
engage in that conversation, does it look like any of the figures in that painting look like Gregor?
Not really.
No? Okay.
Excellent library.
Oh, thank you.
Love the collection. Big fan of the Blood Chronicles.
Oh, I've been rereading the latest, or the last book. It came out a few
Oh
years
my
ago.
god. The cliffhanger at the end?
Yes.
Killer.
I think it was called The Song of Light or something. Yeah, it was really interesting. I don't know where they're going to go after that.
I know. Now, are you team Paul or team Jeffrey?
I mean, both of them have their strong suits. I think both of them would be great for Emily. They both have her best interests at heart. But I'm not on either side. Let's be honest.
Okay.
I think she would be much better off with Edgar.
Oh, that's an unpopular opinion, I assume, from the entire two people I know.
She looks past at you all. Ah, you're admiring the painting of the yes, the Battle of Cragdune.
Calidune or Craig?
Crag. Cragdoom.
Doom?
Is that one word?
Sure.
Cragdoom.
One word or two?
I mean, she said it. As she said it, she's not.
That's like 3 words.
It was quite a brutal battle, from what I've heard. Both armies took many losses.
Or the Black Army.
Very vague. I guess.
Let's just say that not many of them exist anymore. It may look as though they won this battle, but time comes for all, and not many of them exist anymore. Meanwhile, Icefall endures. Anyways, on to much brighter matters. I'm so excited to have guests for the first time in so long. Please, come join me. And she leads you back into the study and grabs a seat. You can tell with like the sundress, she isn't making any effort to hide it. There are bite marks on her neck that you
Hell
can
yeah.
very clearly see. She looks pale. It is now dark outside. Gregor goes around lighting a couple of more candles as you sit there, as you grab a seat.
I may have asked this last time. I don't remember. Does she look like a dead young woman or a dead old woman?
Young woman.
Okay.
She looks very young.
Does she dress like an old woman?
She's wearing a little sundress, polka dot.
She would be about like. It's hard to tell first off because she's an elf. Like you don't know exactly how old she would be, but she would be on the younger side of an elf.
So like a couple centuries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shay, maybe before we move forward here.
First off, the stone.
Yes.
Where's
Got it in my trusty backpack.
Please tell me that is just a backpack. If not, please take it out right now.
Okay. I mean, it is a backpack. It's a special backpack, but it's okay. I'm taking it out.
Is
no
it a bag of holding or a portable hole or something that makes the item that I asked you to keep on you not on this plane of existence anymore?
I don't know how to answer that without you getting mad.
Please take it out now.
I got it right here.
Okay.
I mean, you should have specified we couldn't put it into a bag.
I specified that you keep it close and with you at all points in time.
It was on my...
What is the importance behind this item? Maybe that will help us.
What is the item?
We could all be in grave danger.
Oh, that's fine.
Could have led with that.
There are forces at work who are quite interested in all of you.
In us?
Werewolves?
Yes. No. Much worse.
Bam.
I live here, but you mentioned those wolves that you did battle with. They're not entirely under my control. My sire created them. He showed express interest in you all and may have been keeping an eye on you. I made sure to give you the stone so that even if he would not see any strange behavior or particularly be unable to listen in on any conversations that you were having.
I mean, you could have specified that to me. You handed me an arrowhead, and we put it in a bag like we do most items we receive.
To keep safe, like you told us to.
You could have said, keep it in this dimension.
I expected you all to potentially, and she takes the stone and puts it in the middle. Usually when someone hands you something magical, I thought adventurers like to identify things, perhaps discern their true nature, learn about what they are. You would have noticed that there are multiple layers to this, and I could not speak plainly because he almost always has an eye on me.
That's fair, but when I get handed a rock, typically I think it's just a rock.
I mean, hindsight's 20/20, right?
Well, hopefully you haven't done anything to arouse a suspicion.
I've been aroused this whole time. Not a sexual way.
Regardless, that's not quite the note that I hope to start tonight on.
Is it working now?
She begins to cast a spell.
Oh.
I'm just watching what she's doing, but I'm not reacting to it.
Her eyes kind of turn like a pale blue as she looks out. Well, it is. Even if he does decide to peek in, he won't be able to hear what we're talking about.
Does your sire have a name?
He does.
Which is?
And
And special guest. Shit.
He's shown an interest in you all recently, especially since you foiled some of his work. He goes by the name of Karis.
wait,
Wait, we know
Karis
that name.
Marinar.
Sorry?
Karis who?
Karis
Oh, it's the guy
Marinar.
that looks like
Me.
you.
Oh.
Oh,
I mean,
I don't
Wait,
think
you're a
that.
doppelganger?
yeah.
Well, not identical as in like.
Yeah. Does he have
Exactly.
like
We
an evil
saw
goatee?
that in the staircase, right?
One of the statues.
One of the statues said it. Was that
No,
what we
No,
saw?
that statue actually said me.
Yeah.
Where did we?
No, the
Fae-
the Fae dude.
Yeah.
He said
The
he
real-
told me about it.
Yeah. So I wouldn't know. But this
Oh, I
big one
wouldn't-
wouldn't know that.
Wait.
The big one
did
wouldn't
you
know that.
let
Yeah.
me know, catch me up on that afterwards or no?
I think it was just talking to him. I
Yep.
think he just told it when we were all. He was allowed
The
to ask.
Weaver of Riddles was
No,
work.
but you
had
don't
worked
I
remember-
still
with him.
remember when we went
Into the
fight
portal,
him.
you would have remembered the
Oh, I
dinner.
would remember
The
that.
dinner thing,
Okay.
yeah, or not dinner, but dinner thing.
The Weaver of Riddles worked
Karis
with him.
Miranar or
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
Correct.
I don't know how you spell that, so I'm just gonna Miranar.
Close to Miralar, but with an N
Oh,
instead.
Miranar.
Yes.
You were not.
There are many people and beings and entities that claim these woods as their domain. He is one of them. He is ancient. He is powerful. And he left me here to watch over this particular home many, many centuries ago. I do not know where he is now, but he has shown a keen interest in all of you, and I especially wish to meet and speak with your friend Calthier due to the striking resemblance that the two of you have.
Quick question. When you say sire, do you mean like sire or like sire?
The latter.
What's this?
Baby.
Huh?
Larger.
Oh. Huh?
Like a baby, like to
I have to
sire
admit,
a
I
child.
was-
Is Mike asking?
Yeah, Mike's asking as big one.
Or is the father of Shay?
I have to admit, I haven't met
Like biological
anyone at all in recent memory, but I also have never seen or heard of anyone that looks quite like you, Mr. Calthier.
Likewise, and actually, until recently, I didn't really realize there was anyone else until I heard that name before you mentioned it. We heard that name.
You're
all the way
aware of
from-
him.
Shit, what was his name? The Weaver?
Gesselin the Weaver.
Yeah, a Fey entity told me that name.
Yes. I believe he has some workings in the Feywild as well. I don't actually know where he is these days, but
Out of curiosity, have you been watching me or us over the last evening and today?
I have not.
Then Karis maybe. I've noticed a watching eye.
I suspected as much, which is why I brought this stone to you.
We've tried to avoid speaking on the matter out loud. So,
He almost definitely will know where you are right now. Though, as I said, I haven't seen or heard from him in at least 4 decades.
He might be dead.
when you say he has a striking resemblance to me, do you mean how we have a similar appearance?
No. Similar facial structure, same eyes, same ears. Unlike any elf that I've seen in the past. I do not know what common history you share, but
What's your real name?
Karis Mirren.
his features, the last I saw him, were quite further exaggerated than yours, though.
Well, if he's ancient, I assure you I am nowhere near that age.
Inside check.
Do it? I mean, I'll roll it.
Oh shit. 15.
You believe me.
Okay.
Yeah. You rolled better than me, so I'm not lying.
And
Um,
that's just, yes.
why are you helping us?
I mean, I'm mostly just interested in meeting new people. I haven't met anyone new in a century or so. The only other visitors that I had in the past were my sire or Gregor. I really do like the company.
More serious question. What do you want from us, or why are we really here? It can't be just to meet new people.
I've been pretty frank about this.
Who's Frank?
There's werewolves outside that will eat you. They do not come here for fear of both me and Gregor. He's quite capable. We're quite capable at defending ourselves. But also my sire.
What is your sire's interest in us?
I have no idea.
Do you just know that he is taking an interest in us?
Yeah.
How do you know this? How do we know that this is not just one big trap?
Might be. I haven't laid any trap, but
Yeah.
I would never put anything past the cunning of
Do it.
Karis.
Now,
Sure.
see if I believe what she's saying. Can you get all these stupid ass low rolls?
Stupid ass love.
15.
She's on High Street.
She seems like she's telling the truth.
The armor you were wearing, did that belong to your sire?
No, that actually belonged to Gregor.
Oh, so would Gregor mind if I have it?
I'm sure he would.
Oh, it's just his? Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. And Gregor's like, oh.
My armor.
That painting, the Battle of Calidune,
Yeah,
is that Karis in the painting?
it is.
I go back over to it and I look at it. Does he look like my features?
Well, he's wearing armor, like full armor,
But-
full plate armor.
And you can't see his face?
Cannot see his face.
Oh, okay.
He's like got a winged helmet that's like covers his entire face, almost Sauron-like in many ways.
Hell yeah.
Can you make a history check for me?
That's
Sorry, which
that's
one
some
was
sick
he?
armor.
He's the black, the
Dude
one
in
in
the
black
armor with
armor
the spear.
stabbing the guy on the
Stabbing
horse. Yeah.
The angel-y one.
That looks like Sauron.
12.
You gave another private message.
I guess.
The penis that's hanging out resembles yours.
Oh, right. I was at that battle. Yeah.
Oh, that battle?
Yeah.
Forgot to tuck it.
Yep. Just one ball dropping out of the armor. It's like, that looks like mine.
Oh, there goes Lucky.
It's you.
That's me. That was back in my younger years when I had hair.
Going through your emo phase in dark armor and all.
Yeah, I have not laid any trap. Honestly, the wolves outside are dangerous. The werewolves are rabid on the night of the full moon, particularly to a worshipper of Linwari, which I noticed that you were. And I also took the opportunity to invite someone over to my home to potentially learn more about my master, which I have not, once again, have not met anyone who looks similar. So,
How could you tell his religion by looking at him? Just the.
his spear has a symbol carved within it.
Yeah.
Like, does your spear have the dragon on it?
No.
He doesn't have the dick thing attached to it.
I mostly just like hold that now or have it like on my side.
Because it vibrates.
in my younger
it's gotta be
age.
close to my crotch.
I studied at several academies of sorts. Similar, actually. Yes, I grew up in the Rexay that you all would know as Siltia. I studied in the Syncrofic Academy of Magic, top of my class, actually.
Congratulations.
Unfortunately, I didn't finish my studies. But I dabble, and I'm quite skilled. Several hundred years of study of the arcane in this rather quiet home have given me a little bit of aptitude.
What's the name of the academy?
Syncrofic.
Synchro.
Yes. Academy of Magic.
I'm assuming there is where you met Karis?
It is.
Does he operate out of Sylvia?
He does not. He was visiting, I assume. And, well, the circles that I ran in town were not the safest for a young student, curious beyond her years. He was quite powerful, even back then.
Is he known to home in a specific location, or does he roam the world?
I haven't heard from him in decades. The last thing I knew was he was going into the Fey Realm many years ago.
Sounds about right.
I do not know what he is up to these days, or what he's doing, or where his interests lie, but at the moment his interests may lie upon you, and I don't know why.
Are you looking to guard us from him, or to
I promised you that no
facilitate
harm would
the-
come of you in my home, and I do keep my promises.
My
As much.
friend insinuates that you want to have a sex party with us.
I didn't say it. God,
Is that true?
No.
See, it
I
seemed,
Well,
it
I
seemed a
mean-
little weird.
I
that
did
would
want
make
to have a
sense,
sleepover
yeah.
so that we could simply talk about, all the books that you might have read, anything new that's happening out in the world. I haven't had any visitors in quite some time. There must be so many books and things that have come out recently. I'm sure the world of art is completely different.
have you heard of Nancy Shrew?
I don't think I have.
Okay, we're about to blow your mind. Get ready for this sleepover. It sounds way better
That's
than
the
a
only
sex
thing
party.
we're blowing, though, right?
I mean, we'll see.
Okay, well,
As you all sit in this chamber, if there's any further questions, I'm sure there are many.
how long ago were you a student in Sylvia?
Several hundred years ago, 200, 300, something like that.
How far is Sylvia from here?
Follow me. She leads you upstairs into the art chamber, and she begins to flip through some of the paintings that she's drawn. And she pulls out a long foiled map.
yes!
And she
Fucking map!
pins it up onto a wall with a few pins. It's about there. And she points at it.
And we are where exactly?
You are in the Frostfang Woods, and by the time we pick up in the new year, we will have a map.
Nice.
Yay! It only took 2 years.
And,
Just needed to find someone who
Actually would have one.
actually would have one.
Travel the world.
This is the best Christmas present.
Anyways, that might be a good spot to leave and let you all figure out some more questions to ask her, more secrets to inquire after as you spend this night having a sleepover in Calidune
With a
Manor.
vampire.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that the episode title? Sleepover with a Vampire?
That works.
Cool. Alright.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining. Yeah, that was really fun.
Till 2024.
you're away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Bye. Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays.